Well, hello interneties. Welcome to Golang Delights. A short while ago I made a video about templates in Golang, and at the time there was something I hadn't yet realized about templates, and that is that in templates variables are not reassignable. You can't add to them or change them once you've set them, which was a surprise, especially when I've been talking about how powerful they are and how much you can do with them. But really, I understand the motive of the guys who did this, and that is because templates aren't where we're supposed to do the majority of our code. But there is something I do quite like to do when I'm programming, and I don't think I'm the only one, and that is to use a statement like this one. So here, v, whatever variable, is a, becomes a. If some condition, then set it to b, and then afterwards I'll do a load of stuff with v. So basically, I'm not really reassigning v, I want it to be one of two things, and this is the easiest and clearest way to make it one of those two things safely. And because it's not really assigning a second variable, it kind of frustrated me to be unable to do that. So this is part of why I was disagreeing, and I tried to find a ton of ways around making it work. So just here's the longhand version in normal code, right? Var v int if condition a else v equals b. That works fine in Go, but it doesn't work in templates. You just can't do a second assignment to a variable. So I thought, well, maybe if I need to do a lot of stuff with this v variable, maybe I just stick it in its own template. In templates you can refer to other templates. So here we have define v user, something that uses v, and inside there we do lots of stuff with dot, which just happens to be v, and end. The problem I had here is that now I no longer have easy access to the rest of the variables that I used to be able to use elsewhere, and it kind of makes you have to jump around the code a load to use something that is really simple, and you don't want to have to jump around. So here's the solution I came up with. I added the following method to the function map. That is the map which goes from string to function, technically to interface, but it only works with functions, that the template system uses to interpret our stuff in the squiggly braces. So the function looks something like this. Func_plex. Condition, which is Boolean. A and B are interfaces, empty interfaces, and it returns an empty interface. If condition, return A, otherwise return B. Hopefully that's fairly straightforward and easy to read, but my motive is basically it's a multiplexer, right? So we if this is true, return A, otherwise return B. So now we have a means of choosing, and just by sticking that into our function map, we can now use it. In case you're not sure how to add it to your function map, here's a quick demo. So I've actually done here, I've just made a library where I do this. It's defined in really small stuff here. So I've called my package fmap++, so function map++, and it imports text template, because obviously we need to use templates, particularly because we are using this type, template.funcmap, which is exactly what I said, that function, that map that goes from string to functions. And actually I included this plex method, so that's what I've got here. And so map equals template.func. That's a variable, that's a package variable, right? It's lowercase, so no one outside the package can read it. You just assign it once. It's fairly safe. And then here's the add funcs method. It takes a template.template, and it adds the functions to it. So, and you can do as many functions as you like, and I really think that this is the thing you probably want to have a library that does a ton of stuff for your templates. Maybe you want to have I found it really frustrating that I was missing add and a couple of other small features that I wanted to be able to range through a map except for one element or something, and so I had to make an add method. So, but whatever functions you find you need, stick them in this library, and that kind of works. Once you've included that function, it's basically this, isn't it? T error pass some template. If the error isn't here, if there's no error, you then handled the error. You can include that as usual, so you get your template, pass it, and then here using our new function fmap++, which is the module, add funcs to our template, and so it will just add those functions. And now, once you've done that, whenever you use your template, you can put $v colon equals, and dollar is what you do for your variables all. I don't know whether you call them constants. Maybe they are constants. They still feel more like variables if you're setting them in the code rather than at the top somewhere. But we set that using our plex function based on whatever the condition is. Oh, that should be. I don't know what our condition will be in this case, but it's probably a variable. It could be something it could be some Boolean variable in our dot. It could be any variable. All three of these, as long as it's a Boolean, this will be happy, and it will choose between A or B, which is basically what we were aiming for at the top. So, good. But you can do more with this, right? You can, once you've got it, you can do range plex. GT is short for greater than. So if n, whatever n is bigger than 5, then dot will be A, $A. Or if n is 5 or lower, then dot will be B. Yeah? So I hope you all find these useful in your work with templates. I still haven't worked out what I want to call this. I've kind of gone with plex because it feels like multiplex. I was tempted to call it conditional or something like that, or whatever. So if you have a better name than plex or conditional, please let me know in the comments, and I'll probably change that name somewhere in my code, who knows. Tell me if you actually find it useful, if you do put it down somewhere. Otherwise, just like and subscribe, and thank you very much. See you sometime in the future. Bye.